Yo, it's Mac from the Everyday Nobody's podcast. I know you see the title, so let's get straight to it. Joe Budden and Melissa Ford are full of shit. On episode 702 of the pod, Joe and Melissa made this PSA announcement, virtue signaling on behalf of Wendy Williams. That irritated the shit out of me. Not because what they're saying is wrong, but because they're making excuses on behalf of her. They want everyone else to see the humanity in Wendy when she didn't see the humanity in other people.
Had everyone, the whole conversation about this is karma. I'm on your side, Joe, because really, honestly, that's like a form of ableism. You know what I mean? Like saying that somebody's karmic retribution, the consequences are to become disabled in some form or fashion. And that to me, like, is like an insult, a major insult to the disabled community. Mm-hmm. So I kind of think that people need to stop throwing this, it's karma. You might not agree with the woman's career path, but she has always talked about health issues.
Now, I can admit, people getting online making fun of Wendy's dementia and all other ailments, that shit is tasteless. But let's be honest, Wendy Williams' whole career has been tasteless. She definitely affected some families with her gossip and rhetoric. She's even fucked up some careers behind that. So if people decide to dance on her grave, she gotta live with that. Thank God Ish and Ice were there to give some pushback to the situation. Because if it was left up to Joe, Mel, and Flip, it would have been a woe is me hour. First things first, there's no proof that karma even exists. And if it did exist, who's Melissa to tell everybody else how to feel about it? How do we know this isn't Wendy's karma? The definition of karma is the sum of a person's actions in this and previous states of existence viewed as deciding their fate in the future existence. So if she made a living off talking about people and their family business and their medical history and all that shit, wouldn't karma be people talking about her? That's why I don't like Melissa's stance on this. Do we forget about Wendy Williams airing out Method Man's wife who had cancer, which nobody knew about it until she said something? Do we forget about her saying that Method Man was sleeping with his wife's doctor while she was getting treatment?
Is she all right now?
I'd like to thank Wendy Williams for bringing that to the masses because she didn't have to go on the radio and say that shit. I like to keep stuff like that private, but yeah, she was sick.
But everything's all right now. All right.
Better than what it was.
Well, then that's what's up, man.
Definitely
That's what's
better
up.
than what it was.
That's what's up, man. I know a lot of us go through it, you know what I
I
mean?
be feeling like, yo, that ain't nobody fucking business right there, though. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel about it and shit. That's her business. She didn't want anybody to know about it. You know what I'm saying? And I respected her wishes right there. So for the media to bring that and put that shit out there like that, I think that shit is mad tacky and disrespectful.
Yeah, well, you know, we won't even run that, man, so don't even worry about it.
No, y'all can run that. I want that to be ran. I'm talking about as far as the way it was done in the beginning, because she's past all that now. But when it was going on and all that, and people, it was done by, I'm going to give you, Wendy Williams did it. All right, her. She's the one that did it. You can attack me any way you want to. I'm in the entertainment business, but you don't attack my family, man. My wife ain't had nothing to do with that, man. Had all nothing to do with that. You did not have to do that. Her family members didn't even know she was sick. We still live in our same community where we used to live at. The people that lived around us didn't know she was sick till you said that shit. And everybody looking at her, staring at her. You know how uncomfortable that makes somebody feel, especially somebody that's going through chemo? Stupid ass bitch. Bad enough she didn't have her hair on her head. You think she wants people staring at her, pointing at her, talking about how sick she is? Nobody knew anything until Wendy Williams said that shit.
Oh, okay, we must have forgot about that. Then Joe goes on to say if you're a black woman, you shouldn't have anything to say about Wendy because the medical board as a whole hasn't treated black women fairly.
And you know what? Back to that karma point. I'm sorry. I'm talking back to you. And I'm really judging you if you a black woman saying something like that.
I agree with you.
I ain't gonna hold you.
Disgusting.
If you a black woman saying something like that, let the niggas on the internet be niggas. Black women and their relationship with the boards of health, hospitals, and all governing faculties, like that's just like a slap in the face with what y'all are going through.
So what we're saying is because she's black, we should excuse all of her earlier transgressions. Okay. Then Melissa would say she's the pioneer of gossip blogging, which has shaped the way a lot of us create content today. And to that, I say, so fucking what?
And here's the thing is like Wendy was basically the pioneer for everything that we basically like that's a part of our daily lives right now. Gossip, blogs, shit like that.
All of that.
She's the fucking pioneer of that.
Agreed.
So you can't like, you know, you can't complain about, you know, oh, she was ruining family, she was doing this, she was doing that, when this has literally become, we have
It's mainstream.
Exactly. We have created, it's become mainstream and it's socially acceptable. You know what I mean? You can't have it both ways kind of thing.
I think that
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
I hate that take so much because she's sitting right next to Joe Budden, who is the king of criticizing how people conduct themselves in the media space. He's the same guy who criticized Peter Rosenberg when he didn't like how he covered XXX Tentacion's passing.
Well, don't jump in here because I'm about to kill Peter Rosenberg. So yesterday I'm driving and I had already heard the news and I was really fucked up. I cried all day yesterday. I even didn't really know how to start this podcast because I didn't know if I could talk about this without crying a whole lot. So I'm in my car bawling in fucking tears, right? And I'm listening to talk radio. And it's fucking Peter Rosenberg, 98.7. Him, Michael K., Don LaGreca. And he interrupts this bullshit Yankee talk they're having to say, hey, I know this is not a hip-hop show, and I know we don't cover hip-hop, but I'm in hip-hop. So I must report to you guys that Triple X Tentacion has passed away. And then his two white co-hosts say, well, who was that? And the first thing out your mouth is, well, he was no angel?
That's what he said?
Yes. That was the first thing out his mouth. Well, he was no angel. I took a lot of offense to that, Peter Rosenberg.
He's the same guy who criticized Fresh and Fit's style of podcasting.
Fresh and Fit, if you don't know, is a podcast based in Miami that has gained popularity by just being doofs.
And don't forget his long-standing beef with Vlad. That whole thing stems from him not liking the way Vlad covers media.
You know what's happening. You know what the fucking response will be. You know what you are initiating. You know the part that not DJ Vlad, but Vlad TV is playing. Vlad TV is now the only outlet that will showcase the bullshit because no one else will. Or, let me take that back. World Star will. And a few other places that capitalize off black niggas being ignorant will showcase it.
Okay.
No? So you're not to be held accountable for that?
But now when it comes to Wendy Williams, we should have some compassion. And now when it comes to Wendy Williams, because he likes her, he's willing to turn the blind eye to all the fuck shit she's done over these years. I have literally never heard him hold Wendy accountable. So then Joe goes on to say that all the shit that people want to hold her accountable for all happened in the 90s on the radio, as if she didn't do any fuckery while she was on TV.
My beef is with the blanket sentiment. It's not with anybody that has a personalized story of how Wendy Williams maybe affected their household and their mental health. Like, I respect that. But for that to be the blanket sentiment today in 2024, when some of the Wendy horror stories is from radio, like Wendy got her TV deal very early, and on TV, it wasn't none of that. It wasn't none of that. So you talking about BLS. You talking about when she was in her bag in the 90s as the lone black shock jock.
Did we forget when she made fun of that 19-year-old TikToker who was murdered? And you heard that right. I did say TikTok, so that means it was not in the 90s. So I'm not trying to hear that, oh, that was a long time ago excuse.
Well, he's a TikTok star. He's got more followers than me. 2.5 million.
On TikTok, but on Instagram, you have more followers.
So here he is. He's 19, and he was murdered Monday morning.
Yeah, dead.
Swavey is now dead.
Correct.
Oh. All those followers.
Then Mel goes on to say we can't be mad at the monster we created. So if I understand this correctly, you're saying that because people kept watching the show, the audience should be held accountable. Man, get the fuck out of here. Everyone has a choice. You can be messy and have fans, you can be honorable and have no fans, or you can find that sweet spot right in the middle. I'm not saying you have to be Van Lathan, but you can find a middle ground somewhere. I mean, people do it every day. Long story short, I don't wish this shit on Wendy. I don't wish it on anybody, nor am I the keeper of karma. But y'all picking and choosing when you want to be critical about somebody's content has to stop. Because you know if it was someone you didn't like or didn't respect, you'd be going in. Keep that same energy you have for everybody else. But what do I know? I'm just an everyday nobody. Tell me what you think in the comments, like and subscribe. I'm out.